I'm going to just aim it toward the screen over here. Boom, the giant screen now we have. So, as you know, we have haters. I think everybody's got haters. Everybody on YouTube's got haters. One of haters got haters. But anyway, everybody's got haters that they have to deal with. Unfortunately, my haters at the end of the day decided to do really dumb stuff. And got themselves in a whole lot of trouble. And, well, it is what it is for them. Anyway, so some people went as far as breaking the law because they were upset by our products. You know, they tried everything by saying that our products weren't real, they were fake, that the product was a scam, that the product was nothing more than just black paint. I mean, all kinds of stuff, you know, was basically put out there. So, I feel that if you're willing to go to jail for this, if you're willing to get sued and lose everything you have, I think what you should do is sign our contract. So we have a contract, and in the contract basically states that your beliefs on our products, by saying that we use special camera equipment, or we use special abilities in our projectors, or dumb stuff like that. Um, Sorry about that. If you feel in any way that you can back this up about my products not being 100% legit, then this is what you do. You don't go to your YouTube channel and cry, because again, you'd just be crying. What you do is you sign the contract, and we'll see you in court. That's all you got to do. It's simple. It's very simple. Why make a dozen videos on your channel for one of my people to find you, and then you definitely have to go to court because we'll sue you for defamation. So it's just so easy. Sign it. If you feel that passionate about my work, and you feel that what we do here is completely false, and you want to take the risk of getting on YouTube and making a bunch of videos that will potentially get you sued, and maybe if we take the federal court, get you some jail time, I would advise you to just put your money where your mouth is and just sign the contract. So this notorious contract we are going to be posting this soon to our website, stating what the contract stands for, what it's all about. And this is to show at the end of the day that we back our products at 100%. Now, I guarantee you can't make this contract yourself, and I'll tell you why. Because you lie from the door. You lie on your products right from the door. As a matter of fact, a lot of you will be challenged in court this summer on your specification sheets. Now, if you change your specification sheets, it's still not going to help you because we have previous recordings of what you were doing on your site. Selling a product that you 100% can't back up. So that's going to happen either way. There's no way to get around that. And the reason why we're doing that is because it's publicity. It's publicity for my company. If I can take a company to court and show that your product's not doing it, that goes on court record. You know that, right? So bottom line is, it's public domain, which will make it so everybody can read what happened in that courtroom and why we're able to out that company as a fake. So with that being said, like I said, our contract soon is going to be posted to the website. Right there on the bottom, I painted the screen again. I had to do a demonstration to show how fast the drying time is on the product. So we had to do that today. But anyway, as I said before, if you feel that strongly about me, you feel that strongly about what I do, and you think we got fake software in the cameras and all this stuff and all these accusations, mind you, if we catch you on these accusations, it's a heavy lawsuit. But this is the easier way to get out of the jail time. Just sign. That's all you have to do. What is the problem? Why are we having such a difficult issue of just getting people to sign that contract? Nobody wants to go near it. Not one person. I can literally walk on a form site and someone sends in my product, I say, sign my contract, see me in court, and that's the end of it. We don't hear nothing else from them. Maybe it's because you can't back up what you're saying. That's what it is. And maybe it's because you're jealous and you're lying at the end of the day because you're upset because their products are better than yours. Jealousy will get you sued. So here's the deal. If we find your videos, you're getting sued and you're going to jail. I'm going to make sure of that. We're going to make sure we have a track record of sending people to prison for saying these things about my company. Because I will get you on fraud charges. And mind you, if we get you in federal on fraud, that's a 20-year prison sentence we can get you for making these false accusations. And we can also prove to the judge that there's a history of this going on. So we need the judge to have maximum sentencing towards you, which means hit you with the kitchen sink and everything else to use you as an example to others. We can easily get that. So if your lawyer sits there and says, well, this is the second time. No, Your Honor, we have a problem with people doing this to begin with, and we need to show an example. We need him to have maximum. There you go. We can get you easy in that courtroom because other people did it. So, again, as I said before, if you feel this strongly, you're willing to get on YouTube and get sued, you're willing to get on YouTube and get thrown in jail, so you should have no problem signing my contract. Now, for those of you who want to post dumb stuff at the bottom and saying, I'll sign your contract, be careful. I told you, I got people online at the end of the day, private cyber investigators, to track people down. Just in case if we get an issue from somebody who's doing too much, we can send you a nice little letter at the end of the day talking about back at the freak down, or we'll see you in court. And when you see those big numbers popping up on that piece of paper, you know darn well your banking account can't cover it. So don't write checks you can't cash. Now, for people at the end of the day would say, well, Mr. Bird, you don't have $1 million. No, I don't have $1 million. But I have that much faith in my product that I can make that statement. You can't. See, that's the difference between me and you. So, that new technology over there, that stuff, the contracts that sit on that thing are berserk. Which means if there's a company or anybody even makes a statement about that technology saying that it doesn't read in direct sunlight, those lawsuits reach over $10 million. Because we know we got some companies going to say some trash about that screen. It's a screen that reads outside in sunlight. Of course you're going to have companies making some false accusations against it. And the attorney that I'm hiring can get you if you're global. Which means if you're overseas, we can get you. Make sure that thing is covered. We got it covered. It has a global patent sitting on top of it. Which means if you're in a third world country and you touch that stuff, we can get our hands on you. Oh yeah, I make sure that thing's protected. I paid for a lot of money for a lot of paperwork to make sure that thing is protected. But anyway, getting back to this right here, all our technology we developed. If you feel that strongly, if you're willing to go on YouTube and run your mouth at the end of the day and say things you shouldn't say at the end of the day, then be prepared for what's going to happen to you. You will lose everything you own on this planet. Because the lawsuits that we will hit you with, you will never be able to cover. Unless you win the lottery. That's the only way you can cover one of those things. And if we feel that there's enough videos that were done that you circulated through social media, then we're going to go file criminal charges against you. And we're going to file them under fraud. Because we know we can get you 20 years in federal. So, I like this contract. I do. We're going to post it up there. And we're going to have one on the blacklist. There'll be a contract there too also. And anywhere else you want to go to a forum site, you can uplink that entire page and send it over there. Like we have a page right now on our Black versus Black, which is the only screen paint who has done those tests. The rest of you have not done the test yet. How much of your stuff is matching house paint? You don't even know. The customer doesn't even know either. So that being said, you haven't done those tests either, but that's for next year. When we start challenging companies on how much your stuff is matching house paint, when we're challenging companies on, at the end of the day, is your stuff really reading 100% black as you claim it does? And we know you don't read 100% black. So all that projector excuse, bring somebody in about the projector. The projector has a high contrast, still doesn't read 100% black. Can't get around that one. Ugh. Now, oh, look how beautiful that screen is. To me, that screen is incredible. But anyway, as I said before, I never get used to it. We have people understand it today. Now, you're going to have companies and people who do business, and they say, well, Mr. Bird's attacking these companies. Because no, I'm attacking your companies because you're lying. You do not read black. We do. We have that crown at the end of the day. You don't have that. You don't read black. And because you don't read black, well, then if you're telling somebody you're reading a contrast level, what type of contrast level are you reading if you're not reading black? What's your shade of gray that you're reading? You don't even know that. So what is the customer actually getting? What are they picking up at the end of the day from your screen? How much money is this going to cost them? They have to pay extra money for another projector with a higher contrast to fix it. Are they going to spend money for a high resolution projector because the images and the detail doesn't come out sharp enough? What are you telling them? From what I read on the specification sheets, this stuff is a lie. A lot of y'all are lies. Especially those ambient light projection grade swings. Those things don't work. Those things don't pick up fully lit environment. I doubt so. I doubt it. You don't have ambient light projection technology. That would be us. We have that technology. Okay, well, I'm glad. Okay, I ain't got time to go on with all that. It's a whole nother story in the zone about people not backing up their specification sheets. But, as I said before, my contract it's going to be sitting soon on our site, and it'll explain what that contract is for. And it's for anyone, at the end of the day, who's jealous of Mr. Bird's work, and you feel the need to go on your YouTube channel and say things you can't back up in court. And let me explain something to you, crystal clear, so you can understand this. If you believe that because you use a fake channel, that there's no way in the world that no one will know where you lay your head or where you get your paycheck from, you are sadly mistaken. Sadly mistaken. Any company, any Nike, Walt Disney, any one of these big companies out here, they hire these people. Their job at the end of the day is to figure out where you're at. So they can send you a nice little letter saying, hey, we've got a bunch of videos off of YouTube of you making some statements you can't back up. We want to see you in court. So never believe at the end of the day that because I got a fake channel or I got a fake email address or I'm using fake numbers at the end of the day that no one can find me. You got to watch those court hearings. They got these court hearings of people who commit cyber crimes. You got to watch that. It's pretty interesting. These are people who thought they would never be found, and now they're sitting up in court in an orange jumpsuit. So, with that being said, those who did make videos, if you have decided to delete your videos, it's too late. We already got your information already. We got your videos already. So you'll be processed pretty soon for court. You'll Mr. Bird a lot of money. This is money you cannot cover. Mind you, anything that paint we have in the day, these are $1 million lawsuits. We're going to hit you from the door. And the more lawsuits we bring to the judge to show that we have a problem online with people doing this, the heavier these lawsuits are going to get. Which means they may jump. You're going to have somebody in there who doesn't make that type of money, but you thought the need sent you at the internet to go in there and talk a lot of trash and say things you weren't supposed to say. Now you got to figure out how you're going to pay me $1 million with interest. Because we know darn well you don't have the type of money. Interest alone will kill you. But you have no one to blame for that. Only you. We're also going to put a gag order on you too, which means if you even come online and make a statement about me, even say my name, I'm going to pull you in court and sue you again. So don't even mention my name. And if I get my way in what I want, and I can treat this as a cyber crime, which I am going to treat as a cyber crime, that means I'm going to make sure that they ban you completely offline, which means you have no type of online access. This is one of the penalties you pay if you're caught with a cyber crime. Cyber crimes might carry 20-year prison sentences. That's what you'll be hit with because it happened online. So, federal, cyber crime, all that, we can get you 20 years. Look it up. Go ahead. Do the research. I did it myself. It's a cyber crime. Cyber crimes are punishable by 20 years. It's federal. FBI gets involved in that part. So, with that being said, we can get a ban put on you, which means, bottom line is, you cannot use any internet access. You'll be treated like a pedophile. Pedophiles don't have access online because, again, the things that they do. They've been banned online. That's what will happen to you. It's one of the punishments of getting caught with cybercrime. You no longer have access to online ever. I mean, if you had an online business or whatever, Facebook, that's all gone. Completely gone. Now, see that? All that can happen from just saying things you're not supposed to say. Remember I told you about that fellow who went on there and made that statement about Burger King, McDonald's? He mentioned some very big companies. And he did a video of a rat, AI rat, fall into a vat of grease. And for some reason, this rat puffed, turned into a giant piece of a nugget, which we know is impossible. You got to bread it first before it does that. But anyway, he did this video. And he mentioned some very big companies. He's no longer on Facebook anymore. He got sued. He's in the process of getting sued by multiple chains. So whoever chain he mentioned in that video, it's filing a class action lawsuit against him. how easy it is to get caught? Okay, let's see. Yeah, we're going to replay. I want to do that whole piece. Okay, well, that's basically about it. Glad we had this nice little talk. Now, if you don't believe me, at the end of the day, this is what you do. You get yourself an attorney, you contact Mr. Bird. That's what you do. Because if you feel that anything I just said out of my mouth in this conversation we just had, YouTube right here, Kenneth Bird, if you feel at the end of the day that whatever I said is not true and I don't have the right to sue you for making false accusations against my products, then you get an attorney and you file a defamation lawsuit against me, saying that I mentioned things on YouTube that are not true and I do not have the ability to do. If that's the case, that means the process server that showed up at Jamie's store for touching our copyrights would have been completely out of line. And that means he would have been able to turn around and hire an attorney to prosecute me. But he couldn't, because that's the law. So, best thing about this whole defamation thing and social media is that at one point lawyers wouldn't touch it. They wouldn't touch a defamation lawsuit. Too easy, too hard to prove that a person actually said this out of their mouth. That's the hard thing about defamation lawsuits. If you read online, you said, and you think you got odds, and they said, well, it says right here, it's very hard to prove it. It's hard to prove it if it's not substantial evidence. But since social media came into play, more and more lawyers now accept defamation because of social media, which means you went on a YouTube channel and made statements about a product that now there's a high chance that they recorded and dubbed your video and they have a copy of it. And they're going to use that against you in court. Perfect evidence. You on camera, making a bunch of false statements about my company, open and shut lawsuit. You send a copy of that to your attorney, because I know you won't. He'll drop your case. Because he can't win it. There's no way to win it. Now, the best thing he could do for you is maybe work out a plea deal or something. There's no plea deal for us in court. We don't do plea deals. Maximum sentences. That's what we go for. So now with social media, easy way to get people now. That's why when I get on camera and I state things, I make sure I back up everything I say. If I say he was mixing that product and it had black and white paint in it, we can show videos of him mixing a product that's black and white paint in it. If I said that the Frankenstein mix at the end of the day, basically he said at one point it was ambient light rejection, and another point he said it wasn't, we got videos showing that. I got a video literally on there, 143 in the video, him saying, my ambient light rejection Frankenstein paint, which we can send that to Universal Studios and say, hey, somebody's making money off your name, didn't pay you a dime off of it. Got him in a video saying it was their product. We can back that up 100%. You know why the blacklist still exists? You know why not one person is ever going to get an attorney to remove any of the videos off the blacklist? Because every single video on the blacklist can be used against them in court. That's why. Go to police about it, can't file a police report against me. Everything we have in there is criminal evidence against you. The Facebook page that has him counterfeiting and all that stuff, all that information on that page, can he go call the police? He said, what I have here is against the law. It's not against the law. What's against the law is counterfeiting, piracy, trademark violation, patent violation, copyright patent violation. That's against the law. Selling merchandise without permission. That's against the law. Customers on it receiving stolen merchandise. That is against the law. So there's nothing you can do. Your address posted on there, your address is in public domain. So you can't say, hey, he doxed me. How would I dox him if anyone can find you? You go to the LLC California search, I can find your address just like that. In the white pages along with it that bring up everything about you. So, no, it's not hard to find you because you put that out there. So, it is what it is. That's why I posted the address. And your address is posted as a business. Because where are you running this business at? The copy, Fernando, who was complaining about an hour later about some dumb nonsense. Where is the business that you're doing the 3D printing from? The apartment, right? And that means that if you said you have a business, I counted 13, 14 times in the videos. My buddy took his videos and they broke them down. It was a cipher out of the videos and they break them down. How many times he said, my business, because they're going to use this against him in court. So you claim that this is my business, starting a business. You're walking through a storage container. You talked about business. the benefits of starting a 3D printing business. And then multiple times you show up multiple containers carrying stolen licensed merchandise that you're selling at flea markets and Comic-Con. You recorded yourself doing the entire act. Now it's posted. Snitching at its best. Self-snitching at its 100% best. So that's why lawyers now take defamation lawsuits. Because the first thing they said was on social media, like, yep, he said, come on in. We got to meet up, we got to have a confrontation, and we're going to sign some papers, and yeah, we'll take care of it. We got you. That easy. And what your attorney's going to ask you at the end of the day is, did you do it on social media? And like, yes, I did. How much was posted on social media? Like, is it on social media? You actually said this? And you say, yeah, I did. And it's like, oh man, you're in a lot of trouble. You got a fight on your hands. Say, you're going to lose this case. They're going to tell you you're going to lose the case. So the best I can do for you, honestly, is try to soften the blow. I can try to ease the lawsuit maybe a little bit. You know, it depends on, you know, so-and-so. Who's the person who's filing the lawsuit against you? They're going to ask you all those questions. And you're going to mention my name. And they're going to ask for my information or track me down, call me up and say, hey, I'm representing so-and-so and so. Look, I was wondering if it's possible before we even go to court, maybe we can work this out before we go to court. And we're going to tell them, no, we're not working anything out before we go to court. Your client went in and slandered my company, said things that were not true, and continue to do so. So we're going to court. That's it. And he's going to argue. I said, okay, thank you so much. I respect. Thank you so much. You have a nice day. That's the end of it. He's going to drop your case. Because there's no wiggle room for him in there. And he's not going to lose. He's not going to lose. Lawyers hate to lose. You're going to take from there, like, unfortunately, we can't take your case. Like, the evidence you have against is substantial. So you're just going to get yourself another attorney. I'm sorry. It's literally what you're going to hear all day long. Good luck with all that. And we got 60 videos that we found that people are saying some stuff they weren't supposed to be saying about us, including some guy called the neighbor next door, which now, because of Matrix is a private investigator, he figured out everything about the guy next door. He even knows where you work at. Because we have enough evidence to press you for court. And I'm going to get you on cyber crimes, which means that for every last one of those offenses, I'm going to give you 20 years, which means you're going to be in there for a very long time. You're not getting out. Some of you, shamefully, are going to spend the rest of your life, the remaining time that you have on this earth, you're going to spend it in the prison system. That's why, if you notice, if you watch when we caught McAfee, we literally have on recording McAfee deleting videos off his account. The minute he found out that we figured out that the receipts that he was holding up in his face and holding up next to his face in the thumbnail were fake, that's what McAfee did. McAfee went in and made a counterfeit. We're going to sue him for counterfeiting. Also, on top of that, perjury. It's a whole lot of we're suing him for. But he made counterfeit receipts of my company. Took the logo and claimed that the unboxing video that he did on his YouTube channel was from us. It was our product. It was never a product. We never shipped him anything. He never paid for anything. So my lawyer is going to be requesting receipts and invoices. If you don't have that, that's a 20-year prison sentence you'll be receiving. On top of the other stuff we'll be suing you for. So, yeah, you get a lot of trouble for that. That's like me going out and printing up a Kentucky Fried Chicken box or a McDonald's box or whatever and putting a cockroach in it. And say, hey, look, I just bought the food from them, and look, there's roaches all in it. Do you have any idea how much trouble you can get in for that? And that's what he did. He went on and did a fake unboxing. My name's sitting right on the receipt and my address, and he printed all this up and claimed he got it from us. But the mistake that McAfee made is the fact that the email address, when you make an email, there's no spaces in between. Now, you can have lowercase, hyphens, whatever, in between, dots, whatever. They allow you to do all that, periods and whatever, but they never let you leave it blank. So if you type in the email, it comes up unrecognizable because it doesn't exist. Another problem you have is that we don't use Crystal Edge technology screens as an email anymore. We use Immerse 4K Cinema. That's what we use. It shows up on the receipts next to Jamie when we ordered from him. So with that being said, where did you get this receipt from? Oh, you just, grown man, he's a father now, by the way, father with kids, grown man, decided to take a United States Shipping Postal Service box, print out a fake receipt, and put some black paint in a container and claim it was my product. McAfee. You see how badly that sounds coming out of my mouth? Imagine it's in a courtroom. We're looking to get you 50 years in jail. That's what they're pushing for. Got 20 years coming in for that whole receipt nonsense. And then we got identity theft, which involves you using somebody else's personal information to basically send us letters. That's another 20 years. That's from the federal government. It will give you that one, which means that they have to call in for that too. I forgot. Oh, man, all the stuff I got to do on top of that. I got to do that, take care of that mess. So I got to call in and put the report in for you and your name, address, and where you're at right now, so we can get that taken care of. Because you did use someone's address without their permission, and I got to contact the. They're going to contact that bar anyway. FBI is going to contact the bar, and the FBI and post office, federal, what do they have for U.S. Marshals, whatever, the post office, they're the ones who take care of that behalf right there. I got to contact that number again, and I got to reach out to them about him. I'm going to get that taken care of today. But anyway, yeah, you use somebody else's address without permission, which is clearly considered identity theft. And since it's federal, it's a 20-year prison sentence. So you have that to deal with. And then the bar, which you did use their information without permission, they're going to basically reach out and file a lawsuit against you also, and criminal charges. So hiding off YouTube right now is not going to help you. This is still going to happen. Gentlemen, look, you can go about your lives at the end of the day and feel that nothing's going to happen to you, that everything is forgotten. It's not forgotten. We're basically following all this paperwork with different agencies that when everything is ready, you're going to have somebody come to your front door and put handcuffs on you because you did commit this crime. Did you not? Yes or no? You did, right? All right, then. Go from there. So nothing's going anywhere at all, period. We put it back on his, or we put it back, or we get this letter goes out to his off the building today. So I got stuff I got to do on top of that. And I got letters going out all this week, going to Mr. Williams. We just sent to a social worker. The social worker got this picture right here. Also to explain to them, social worker and to some of the people in the upper building, that this was sent to us by you. And you also used someone's addresses, which is a funeral home, which is not too far from your building. So I'm pretty sure they know the building. And I'm pretty sure they're going to go over and have a nice conversation with the people over in that building, because they know that they're going to be, man, they're going to get sued by them. They're definitely going to sue them. So they're definitely going to reach out to them. So we'll get them, it's a nice letter in there explaining to them the photo we got from you, and also to explain it to them that the building that you used without permission, we did contact Allentown Police. This picture is actually in their system right now. And we also contacted FBI and the post office about the situation. So they're going to have to address that issue. You got an eviction notice coming up soon. So you know, so as I said before, I wouldn't get too comfortable. Give me something else. This is the address he used. I got a call about him too on top of that today. He used 2 other addresses without permission. She also got a copy. The building got a copy. Building manager's got a copy. And you're using, you have Comcast, you have Xfinity. That's what you're using. So that's what it pinged back to when we got the emails about raping me. So that was also sent out to them too also. So let's see. Yeah. 501 to the 501 Dolphin Street, Baltimore. Yeah, that's you, ain't it? That's definitely you. See, with Mr. Williams figured he was in an apartment complex. And in a big apartment complex, who would ever figure out where my apartment building's at? That was the dumbest thing I ever seen anybody do. And you gave up your address, right? Because it's on our letters right here. This is your address, right? Look, there it is. That's your address, right? Now, the funny thing about it, that zip code right there, that zip code 21217, it's actually the exact same zip code as the funeral home, 21217, which means that when we tracked it down in Google Maps, isn't too far from your building. And there's a whole thing with the IRS, because you went in and you basically posed as a minister, right? So chances are you were taking money from people claiming that you were a church. So you have that to deal with too. That's identity theft, by the way. Oh, all right, let me see. All right, I got a couple phone calls to make sure. I got to call FBI about you, about the whole identity theft and that thing down. So what's going on with that? And with McAfee, I have to reach out to them about the whole contact that bar and then get a hold of them with the post office on how you were using those addresses, that address to go out and commit that crime. I nearly forgot about that today. I had something to do today, right? Without all this stuff I got to do. And Fernando, you're going around. I haven't contacted them yet, but they will be contacted today. So he already has a file with them. I'll be contacting them about the whole counterfeiting thing, and I'll be redirecting them to the web page. Because, you know, checking that's a real federal crime right there. Now, see the difference between me and you, gentlemen? At the end of the day, I collect all the dumb stuff that you do. And we use it against you in court, and whatever federal agencies we got to go to. And I can give them my full address, all my information, where they can find me at, everything. You can't do that. You have to show it with fake accounts, fake information, because you don't want that information getting back to you because you lied about me. Oh, by the way, I did get something called a need to know. So that's how we found out a lot of things about you, because we didn't know that anytime they call any kind of government building or any kind of facility with a fake information, which is considered to be perjury, and it's also considered to be a very serious when you make a false statement through a government agency about someone that's not true. It's perjury. Guys are not smart. Good gracious. The devil just gets you in all kinds of trouble, doesn't he? You don't listen, do you? So I need to know, which means if you contact one of these agencies and you have like a fake number, making false accusations, whatever, they can go down and they can track down all your information. Emails can be traced, text messages can be, all that stuff can be traced. A lot of people don't know about that. Yeah, if you have somebody contacting and doing something they must be doing, or basically putting in a magazine subscription in your name, yeah, we can contact them and say, hey, look, we need access to any phone calls, anything that came through, we need access to it. They automatically give it to us for court. The other place, where they're real nice about it, say, yeah, anything you need for court, just let us know. We'll send it right over to you. All right. And until then, when we get this whole court thing ready up and going, the contract is right there. So again, stop crying about it. Sign the contract. See me in court. That's all you got to do. This is customs. This is all customs. I got to get McAfee stuff up here. I literally forgot. We got to get him taken care of right away. And Jamie, you did use my cube recently, right? That cube has a 2D artwork on it, right? That's mine, right? You did use it without my permission, right? There you go. That's my copyright right there for my cube. See right there? That's my registration. See right there? Crystal Ridge Technology Screen, 2016 is when I filed. See right there? It says Creator 2D Artwork. That cube. So anyone I catch touching that cube at the end of the day, I'm going to clean your clock in court, so you know that. So you know my copies are real. Look it up. That's my copyright, registered with the United States government. You touch that copyright, and I guarantee you, it'll be the worst mistake you make in your life. And no, I will not give you any plea deals, no cease and desist orders, nothing. We'll sue you right from the door. Man, I'm talking to a bunch of freaking kids all day. All the work I got to do and things I got to do, I have to take time out of my busy schedule to deal with a bunch of adults that don't know how to act right. Gentlemen, you want to call something triggered? Oh, you haven't seen triggered. I walk into a courtroom, I'm calm, collective when I'm in a courtroom, but my main goal is in there is to leave you with absolutely nothing when you leave out of that courtroom. And I mean nothing. Whatever lifestyle you had when you came in, you will not have the exact same thing leaving out. I will take it all from you. You're going to watch your entire world crumble around you for touching my stuff. Some of you, I may have a little mercy for. Some of you, I may keep all your stuff intact. But you're going to pay me. And you're going to pay me by I'm going to garnish your check, which means I get a percentage of what you make. You work for me. So to speak, you will. And I get a percentage of your income tax too. I can take that too. I can take the whole thing if I want. But that's not fair at all. Because chances are you got kids. And you got kids, you got to take care of them. So you'll be paying me. It's going to suck, ain't it? The person that you talked all this trash about, every time you go to work, you're going to be paying me some of that money. I think that's more fitting, to tell you the truth. And if you stop paying my payments, then I'll bring an attorney and bring you back to court and we'll take all your stuff. Giant screen. Wait a minute. So wait, because I have that license, I got mobile and ooh, I didn't even know that. Benefits of having your license, right? I didn't even know I could use it for that. I don't need stuff every day. There you go. For Fernando, can understand how things work? That's a copyright claims board. So we filed against you on. See right here, claim? Infringement. See right there? Kenneth Bird. See your name? Jamie Fernando Gonzalez. This will be filed against him. For touching those copyrights. Now you touch the cube, right? That's the reason when you touch. You touch the cube, which I find interesting, and you use the cube as your logo because you put 3D on it. Thinking that if you took the name off of it, it wouldn't basically, you wouldn't get in any trouble, right? The cube is 2D artwork. The name on it, all of it's copyrighted. So even if you touch the cube, you're still getting hit. McAfee, I noticed on the receipt, when we zoom up, my cube is in there. So I'll be taking you to court and suing you for that too also, along with everything else we'll sue you for. I want to get this started, gentlemen. I got to get this ball going and rolling. So I'm going to be making these phone calls to federal today. We got a call for Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams did use 2 other addresses without permission, so I have to call the post office. Their law enforcement officers on that side about you because they already got your name, your information, your address, where your apartment's at, everything. They got all of it. We put all that in there. We know about the funeral home. They know about the fact that you went and sent naked pictures through the internet. Through the post office. That's a very serious charge at the end of the day. You know they're going to register you as a pedophile, right? A sex offender. That's what they're going to file you as. And then let them know that at the end of the day that where you sent those pictures at, my sister has some kids over there coming from time to time, and they could have saw that. Now you're posing to be a preacher, and you're basically robbing people. Oh, man, you guys. Keep in mind, Mr. Williams, you know how it works. You've been in jail before. We already know from the door you've been in the system already. They're going to ask for your paperwork when you go in. If your paperwork shows anything to do with you sending naked pictures through the internet, and one of the houses that it hit had kids in it, you know what's going to happen, right? And they're going to request your paperwork. They request everybody's paperwork when you go in. He's going to have an unpleasant experience in there. I'm looking to the cell. Gotcha. Daniel McAfee. That's the address you use. That's the bar. And try to make it look, you come from Denver, Colorado. You don't. You're from Flushington, Ohio, aren't you? Population 800 and climbing. That's where you're at right now. Well, I could find you myself. If I can't do that, I have to do it legally. But I could find you myself. 800 people population. Are you kidding me? How easy is it to find somebody with 800 people? I could find somebody in a freaking baseball stadium. You know, big baseball stadium and football stadium, I can track you down in there. So I definitely know I can track you down there. 800? I looked at Flushington, Ohio, and he can't move. No. His house and all that, he paid for his house. His house is paid off. It's not even owned by the bank. That's why he was on camera crying about his house. When he sat there and said on camera, he said he's talking about taking my house. We are going to take your house. What are you talking about? We are going to take it. You owe me money, a lot of money. How are you going to pay me? You don't have much at the end of the day, so how are you going to pay this money up? The lawyer fees, court costs, how are you going to pay all this stuff? And you got to fly out here anyway, so that's going to cost you money. So how are you going to do all this? You can't. So you're going to lose everything now in this process. I don't want money out of your paycheck. You're taking the house. So most people would say, if someone's trying to take your house, good luck with that. It's owned by the bank. That's what most people would say. You didn't say that at all, period. You say he's making threats. No, that's not a threat. If you go out and commit a crime and we can get you on this and sue you and take your house from you, that means that's not a threat. That's a 100% promise. Now, say we didn't have any evidence on you whatsoever. Nothing at all, right? And I'm just messing with you, right? Then that's a threat. But when I actually have evidence of you actually committed a crime, that basically can have me take you to court and sue you. That's not a threat. That's a 100% promise. We're actually going to do this to you. Because we can take you to court and do this. All right, then. So if it's a threat you felt, why didn't you call the police on me? Why didn't you get an attorney on me? You knew where I was at. You had my address. So you didn't do anything, right? So there you go. That's why you knew at the end of the day, you're in trouble. So with that being said, we are going to take the property. Because again, you owe me money. So how else are you going to pay me? Got any other collateral? I don't know. Got anything that can pay me? They're going to take it either way. Either way, whatever you have, we're going to take it. You're going to sue for $1 million. You don't have that type of money. So you got to figure it out. Till then, yeah, we're going to take the house. And you can go get yourself a lawyer. Have them reach out to me and say, hey, we feel that no lawyer's going to do that. No lawyer's going to sit there and say that we feel that you can't make that statement because of what? No lawyer's going to say that. The lawyer's going to ask you from the door, like, what did you do for him to make that statement on YouTube? That means you're going to have to tell them that you went in and you made a false accusation against my company, even going down to having my name on a receipt, counterfeited and copied, or receipts. You're going to have to tell them that. And they're going to tell you at the end of the day, you broke the law. You're going to jail. That's what he's going to tell you. I guarantee he tells you you're going to jail. All right, then. There's nothing you can do about that. What about this whole mail thing? You're going to sit there and tell them at the end of the day, well, you know, hey, I took someone else's address and I used it to stalk a fellow online. How well is that going to go? McAfee, this carries a 20-year prison sentence right here. It's going to get you 20 years in jail. It's a federal crime. I got 5 of these from you. And with other people's addresses. And then you were sending them to other people, that places I was going to. Because I have it on Daily Walk and Talk. It shows me going to these different places. And you were stalking me and contacting these places and sending them this weird stuff about me. You're going to jail. So your daughters, you're never going to see them again. You're never going to see them get married. You're never going to see them have kids. You're going to miss all of that. Because you decided to follow Fernando. That's what you did. That's the penalty of following stupid people. When you follow dumb people, you win dumb prizes. That's how it all works. Everybody decides that, hey, look, we're going to get together. We got this plan to rob this bank. And you go, you know, I'm going to tag along with you. Then guess what? Whatever happens is what you're going to get is what you're going to get. But if you're one of the smart ones and you sit there and go, nah, you know what? I'm good. I'm not doing this. This is crazy, man. This is absolutely crazy. Yep. Later on, you'll be sitting home and you'll be watching these guys on the news in a high-speed chase, being chased by a chopper and a fleet of cops. And wow, I am so glad I did not walk into that one. But Silent Wake 5 thought at the end of the day that no one was going to figure out his real name. No one was going to figure out where he lived at. No one's going to figure out none of that stuff. That's what you thought, right? That's why when you did Trocast, which I had your face in there multiple times, showing that you do know Fernando, you all quite know each other quite well, that you had your name up as Silent Wake 5. You didn't have your name up as Daniel McAfee. Because you didn't want anybody knowing where you was at, right? Or who you was and what your name was. You were counting on that, right? Until you made the mistake of basically going over to my Facebook account and you left your Facebook page open. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. That's him. Yep, got your name, duplicated your entire page. So now we know everything about you. And looking up on where you live at, Flushington, Ohio, I looked it up and I looked at the population of your small town, which is 800 and climbing, which isn't hard to find you. My business license. I need to frame that thing, darn it. Forgetting to frame my license. So, Lord allowed me to find you. So it's funny because there was a guy he was getting nasty with online. And the guy contacted me. We're good friends. He said, yeah, you know, Daniel McAfee. He mentioned his name. He said, he smiled. He said, I know his real name now. Yep, he knows exactly where your name is. He knows where you live at, everything. You live in Flushington, Ohio. It's not hard to find somebody at 800. So I'm looking as I'm chatting, because I'm always doing something. They think, oh, you're just wasting time. I get more done in my day than those jokers do in a lifetime. Trust me. I'm looking for your paperwork here because I got to call the FBI when this is done, and I have to call the federal, I forget the name of the post office because we have to put a report in on you, so they can contact the post office in your neck of the woods over in Ohio on using someone's identity without permission. I have to contact the FBI because it is identity theft. All right, Mr. McAfee. And then Mr. Williams, I have to call both parties also too because you did use someone's address over in Philadelphia. You used a restaurant in Philadelphia, used their address without permission, and you used another address over in Texas without permission. Then I got to call Customs, Immigration and Customs on Fernando for the whole counterfeiting nonsense, and then I have to go to contact the FBI on that one too. So I figure I can get all this knocked out today, get that done, come back in, do a couple of demonstrations on that. Got people coming through for this, work on the village a little bit earlier. Let's do that because I got more stuff I want to put on my village. And I want to do a demonstration with the Flex technology. Get you guys into all this today. Anything else stupid you guys want to do while you're at it? Oh, like I told you from the door, your accounts are all being monitored now. All your accounts are monitored. My people are monitoring their accounts 24/7. Everything you're doing is being documented for court. We already have enough to prosecute you. We want to show the courts that you continued on. This gets you more jail time. Gentlemen, the whole purpose of what we're doing right now is to make sure that you spend the remaining of your time on this earth in the prison system. And we sue you beyond belief. Here we go. This is from Mr. Williams. This is using someone's address over in Philadelphia without permission. We'll contact their company, let them know, give them all your information. So each one of these people we contact that you've been using their information without permission, we go in and we contact them and give them all your information. All your information. Your pictures, what you look like, everything. Because they have to go in and use that information to file against you. Their attorneys, they go plug in an attorney, going to say, well, what does this person look like? Where do they live at? So and so and so. So we want to help them with their case. Anything they need from us, I'll give them all of my information. Contact me. Here's my email. Reach out to me. I'll send you whatever you need. Help them build their case too, also against you. I bet you probably thought when you started all this nonsense that we're going to get this guy to just give up, quit, and just leave the internet, right? That's what you thought, right? If we all gang up on him, we're going to get him to just leave and he'll give up and, you know, and we'll just continue on with our lives. You got the wrong person at the end of the day. I'm a fighter. Get the wrong person. I'm the type of person that basically you can throw anything you want at me. You can't take me down. You crazy. Please. And while you're throwing stuff at me, I'll catch every single thing you throw at me, and I will turn around and bring it right back to you. But when I bring it back to you, I guarantee I'll have you in jail for it. I'll sue you, take all your stuff from you, stuff like that. Because you think that I'm a stoop to your level. Oh, I'm not stupid. Why would I do something like that? Stoop to your level at the no. So when y'all were sending mail here, I was like, oh crap, this is fantastic. I like to smile on my face because I can use it against you in court. I can get you years in jail. Years in jail. So how does it feel to go through life and look over your shoulder 24/7 because you just don't know when one of these documents are going to pop up on a judge's desk? They're going to say, well, who's this right here? Or is it so and so? Well, let's start this case right here. And the next thing you know, they got to issue a warrant to have somebody come out from the courts or whatever and say, hey, look, you got to go to court. You got a summons. So, anytime. So now you got to worry about what's over your shoulder. Let me see. I need this one. I want that one. I need this one right here. So make sure I get all this stuff stacked. I didn't think about doing this today. I was thinking about doing something else today because I'm always busy working on something. So I wasn't thinking about today until I started making this video. So maybe the Lord wanted me to make the video to remind me to take care of this. Yeah. Man, I messed up so badly. Meanwhile, you can watch my giant screen, which I freaking love the screen so much. I haven't got a chance to do any gaming off. Well, I did some gaming off of it, but I want to do some zombies off of it. Zombies off my giant screen. We have to reach out to zoning again for Fernando's little thing going on over there. You know, it's funny, the number that you sent over here with the United States Postal Service, that information, thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's the same place we've been calling about you. Yep. Reached out to them, and you've never contacted them about me at all, period. Can't give up your real information. You know why? Because I got charges filed against you, that's why. But don't worry, we fixed that already. Now they have all your information, and they know where you live at the end of the day. And we showed them the mail that you were sending to us, and how you were basically harassing my company. This social worker is going to be very upset when she gets that postcard. So the managers of your building is going to be very upset too. I know you've been checking in. I know you've been going in and seeing if any mail came. I know. I know people in your building, by the way, Mr. Williams. I hope you know that. I have family over in Baltimore. They're big Baltimore Raven fans. I even have some down here that are from Baltimore. You'd be surprised the kind of people I know at the end of the day. But I know for a fact that you've been going back and forth and you've been checking to make sure to find out if those envelopes got there yet. And right now, you are going crazy trying to figure out where they're at right now. Well, I can tell you one thing. They're going to your social worker, the people who basically run that building, whether it be Section 8, Housing Authority, whatever them, the higher-ups, the ones that are over your manager, they're getting one of those packets. The building you use without the permission of their address to send out the naked pictures, they're getting a packet. And let's go for this one too. Here we go. We need this one. This is McAfee. And let's see for a minute. And some of the more higher ups involved in the funding and all that stuff for that building complex, they're getting those packets too. Some of those packets are basically your face information, you posing to be a preacher, money you're collecting, you know, stuff like that. And also too, emails about raping me and stuff like that, and some of the colorful mail you've been sending to us, so they're getting all that information. We also informed the post office you've been sending suspicious items in packages to us too also. And if you ever deny and say that you never said anything about minister, how in the world are we going to get away from that one? We got it on signatures, paper, emails, YouTube channel, your Facebook page that somehow disappeared. Let me see what we got here. I need the book. Where's the big book? The big book. Here we go. Yeah. You. I can't wait for the judge. We took a nice photo picture of all the mail we received from Mr. Williams to give an idea of the scale and how much mail he sent to us, the United States Postal Service. I had to go to the post office later today to meet with someone to show the bulk of mail I received from him. This is how much mail we actually received, and if actually mail was redirected to another agency of what he's been sending over. This is all Williams. Oh, that's all Williams. Williams, one of these can carry a 20-year prison sentence. Did you know that? One of them can carry a 20-year prison sentence. All right, here we are. This is what I was looking for. Yeah, this is the funeral home. And you see this number right here? This is a number we've been using to contact the post office. You sent me the number, so I'm using it against you. This is what we're using in Texas. You do know your handwriting all matches, right? Yes, when you write something over and over again, they match it by your handwriting. Handwriting gives up a lot of information. Let's use the address he was using for this one. The address here, the address here. Right, we still got time. What we got for time? As a good American. What do you mean by good American? Now, why would you write American? Good American. That's a really odd thing to write, as a good American. What do you mean by that? So as a good American, you abuse the United States Postal Service to commit crimes and stalk companies and businesses and send death threats and stuff like that. That's a good American? Interesting. It's not Fernando's handwriting. We know Fernando's handwriting from the door. Fernando can't spell for jack. Neither can Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams is the person who can't spell either. That's how I know y'all didn't graduate. Let me see. I'm going to send some of these black ones too over to your building too, Mr. Williams. Let me see. I'm going to go to the post office. I want to send one. Get the information. I want the top honcho. I want the guy who basically signs the paychecks for your managers. That's what we're tracking right now. I want his information. Once we figure out where his branch is at, I got a nice big package, a long email we're going to send over to him, and all my information where he can reach out to me. Let him know exactly what we're about to do to the building, the lawsuit for filing. So that's going to reach out first too. And we'll make sure we'll give you, Mr. Williams, we'll make sure he gets your apartment number. And we'll send him one of your personal cards, you know, if you're half naked, over to him. Because he's going to be ticked. And the first thing he's going to do, he's going to contact every manager in that branch and figure out who the freak what was going on when these letters were being sent out from that building. Unlike your managers at the end of the day that are going to give you a slap on the wrist, this guy's going to fire some of those managers, and on top of that, he's definitely going to start the first process of removing you out of the building and cutting your funding for that building. Your social worker's also getting the same one too. Now, what are you going to do? Call the police and say at the end of the day that, hey, there's a guy said it's you who sent the pictures. Go ahead, call the police, because I'm sending them too also. And mind, the police had already been to that building already, people, so you don't know that. Yeah, Baltimore police were at that building already. So they're well familiar with that situation. which means they'll testify that they did come out there and they did speak to me on the phone about some colorful and interesting mail you've been sending to our office building. So I got some information from a friend of mine who knows exactly the top branch of that building, City View. So we're going to reach out to them and send all that information over to them. Let me get their packet ready. Till then, we got stuff we're sending to Fernando's building. Yeah, your information, all that stuff is being sent over to your landlord, reaching out to him. Let him know that we had to contact Homeland Security about your tenant. Well, not really a tenant because you got a fake lease. So you don't have a lease to be there. If you don't have technically you're not supposed to be there at all. You don't have a lease. And what he did, you can go to jail for a fake lease. You know, you can get in trouble for a fake lease. So we'll be reaching out to him also too, and also too about the counterfeiting. We'll link him to the web page. That's already the Facebook page, which makes things so much easier for us now, and where he can basically get all the information about what's been going on in that apartment. And also too, to ask him at the end of the day, does he know anything about this? Now, the fact that, Fernando, you don't have documents to be here in the United States, he's liable for lawsuits now. Because most people will sit there and say, oh, let's quit. Most people will sit there and say, well, you know, hey, I don't have control what my tenant does. But the problem is, he's not a tenant there because he doesn't have proper paperwork, and the lease he has is fake. And you're going to tell me at the end of the day that your lease is real? It's not real. You have a fake lease. And the red flags, Fernando, who the freak sits there at an apartment for over 15 years, a one-bedroom apartment, and raises a family of what? Yeah, how many of 4? No, 2. He has 2 kids. Or 3, I think. I don't know. But anyway, who does that in a one-bedroom apartment? Nobody does that in a one-bedroom apartment. Nobody. The first thing you think the first minute you have a child is, well, we got to upgrade. We got to get a bigger place, a bigger apartment, a bigger house, something at the end of the day. But you can't do that because the place you're at is the only place that pretty much you feel safe at that will not ask a lot of questions about your situation. The storage unit you have is not yours. The storage unit is your sister's storage unit. You need 2 forms of ID to your storage unit. The vehicle you're driving around right now, you don't have a license in the state of California to drive that vehicle. You did have all that paperwork to begin with, driver's license, ID, all that stuff to begin with. You could have been moved out of that place a long time ago. If you made enough money to buy all that stuff in that apartment, you could have moved a long time ago. You could have got a down payment for an apartment or a house. You can't go anywhere. You don't have the documents. And now what's going on down there in California right now, you definitely can't move anywhere. Period. You can't even go anywhere at all. Because now everybody has to ask that information because they don't want to get caught up in that craziness. I'm surprised your landlord hasn't kicked you up on that. But what we're about to send to him pretty soon, well, he's getting sued. And if he sits there and says at the end of the day, well, I don't have, yeah, your company's name is sitting on top of his building right now. That LLC sits on that building. So much for telling you to keep it quiet. You didn't listen to any of that whatsoever. And then we had to file with immigration. And he had the address to the building. So definitely that's going to be a problem for you. No, you sit there at the end of the day, cry and whine and say, always out trying to make trouble for me. Jamie, you made trouble for yourself. When are you going to sit there and take responsibility for your actions? You did it to yourself at the end of the day. Every person I talk to about you at the end of the day, someone, you're the dumbest person on the face of the planet. You know why they call you an idiot? Because most people coming over, you wouldn't even have a YouTube channel. They wouldn't have anything. They keep a low profile. And the one thing they would work on if they find a job is getting their citizenship. So now they're legal. And another thing, once they become legal, the one thing they don't want to do is get in any trouble. They don't want to raise any red flags, have someone come to my door and have me arrested. No one does that. You do that nonsense. Because you got bold and comfortable, and you thought you're above the law, and you can do whatever you want. Unfortunately for you, if Trump wasn't in office, most likely how they would have handled you was just, mostly you'd have to charges here you would have to go through. Yeah, you just have to go through the charges. You can't commit crimes over here and get away with it. You gotta face that time. But you probably would have received some. No, I forgot. He did a lot of dumb stuff, so that's a hard one right there. But at least you'd be over here, which is better. I would rather be here than where you're about to go to. Because there are nightmare stories about that place at the end of the day. There are Alcatraz and all that crazy stuff going on there. It's absolute freaking nightmares about what goes on over there. Unfortunately, that's where he's going. And the reason why they're sending them over there, I believe 100% that they're sending them over to Salvador, sending them there, is because they're going to make sure you can't come back. That's why. Because they figure if they release you and you go over to Mexico, there's a good chance that you may try to hit the wall again. So this time they'll send you to another country where you can't come back. Anyone figure that one out? Yeah, because I was thinking like, why don't they send them to another country? Why don't they just send them back to Mexico? And they're saying, no, they can't send them back to Mexico. They send them to another country. What the freak? What's the point of that? Why would you send somebody to a country they don't understand the language or nothing whatsoever, unless they want you to disappear and you don't never come back? That's why they do it. And like I said, the only people I feel at the end of the day don't deserve to be in this country are criminals. They don't deserve to be here at all, period. You're committing crimes, you're breaking the law, whatever, you got to go. That's the way it should be. If you're over here minding your own business, doing your own thing, making your money, breaking your bread, whatever, hey, you can stay as long as you want. We don't freaking care. That's how I feel at the end of the day. Just like if I go to your country and I'm over there running drug rings and dog fighting and whatever crap you can possibly think of, prostitution, whatever that crap I'm doing over there, you don't want me over there. Nobody wants me over there. So I can understand that, why you would want me out of your country. But if I'm over there minding my own business, doing my own thing, got a nice little shop set up, making some money, you know what I mean, go to the community, I have a right to stay there. Because I didn't do anything wrong. But Fernando, coward, at the end of the day, wants to lump himself in with people at the end of the day who have done nothing wrong and got deported. Oh, poor me, I didn't do anything wrong. You know, he's trying to come after me. He's racist at the end of the day. So I'm racist at the end of the day, Fernando, for basically taking you to court for touching my copyrights, harassing my family, threatening me, threatening my family, stuff you were doing, touching my copyrights, all that stuff. You broke the law. That makes me racist, right? And then it's interesting how you would say that, how the Lord would out you even more on showing you how you're running the counterfeiting and ripping off companies. That makes you a criminal. Because I've never met anyone here in all of the United States who sit there and say, hey, I got a business making Nikes, Versace, Gucci, Calvin Klein, whatever, and that's counterfeiting. That's basically copyright breach, trademark breach, it's all that. That's against the law. So if those people get raided by the FBI and those people go to jail, what makes you different that you don't have to be raided by the FBI, don't have to go to jail? All right, then there we go. See what I mean? Got him there, talked all that trash, and now look what you do. Jamie is interesting about Fernando. One thing I learned about him, he has a habit of doing this. When he sat there and the customer gave up his address where he actually lived at, and we saw it, and we said, hey, look, I think this is his address, we don't know. And he turns around and he goes, oh, you doxed my address, you're going to go to jail, you doxed my address. And then this knuckle, he turns around and puts his own address in public domain for everybody to find him. Same thing like the Cinemax. When the customer sent us over to Cinemax, oh, by the way, I'm digging that up to the post office because you did send me over some stuff that was fraudulent to the mail. But sat there and said, oh, that would never be mine. That was never mine. My paint would never match Network Grade 773. You remember that? I mean, on camera ran about that. And you said that we printed up the labels and we made the paint and we never got that from any of your customers, would have never sent that over. Remember you said that? And then what happened, Fernando? Your stuff matched Network Grade 773 so badly that you deleted the videos off your account. We got you on live stream doing it. There you go. So that means that the paint we had at the shop that we were showing up in the basement was your paint. But you said it wasn't, and it matched. You said your stuff would never match, and it did. It matched so badly that you were fiddling with the camera and knocking things over and doing all kinds of stuff in that video. And now the video just magically disappears. And we got you on live stream doing it. That doesn't sound like a person at the end of the day that has something that he should, nothing to hide. So then there's that nonsense. You're a liar. You're constantly lying all the time. The whole nonsense sitting on your bed and talking about how you move. Oh my goodness. I showed some of people that they could not stop laughing. That's why I tell you at the end of the day, for his followers, you're idiots. You know why I call y'all idiots? Because he knows you're idiots. He knows you guys are idiots. He got on his bed, moved his stuff around, his furniture, and sat there and lied on camera that he moved, moving such a pain. You can't move. You do know that, right? Unless you're moving with a family member. But right now, with everything's going on with this whole thing with Trump and immigration, you can't go to any place and move. One thing I know at the end of the day, that when you're comfortable at a spot, you're going to stay at that spot. That's why you've been there for over 15 years. You never left the state. I've never seen you leave the state. I've left the state multiple times, but I've never seen you actually leave the state. When you go on vacation, you go on vacation within the state. Your apartment, when it's accumulated with all that stuff in there, how come you don't get a storage unit? Your apartment's been packed for a very long time like that. Because you can't get a storage unit at the end of the day. And the garage unit you have underneath of your apartment, again, you can only put so much stuff in there. So with that being said, at the end of the day, that's why your apartment was congested like that, because there's no place to put it. So why didn't your wife basically get a storage unit? And she can't either, because we know her story too also. Did you know that? Oh, there's a lot of stuff we know, Mr. Fernando. A lot of things I know. But we'll wait to court to get all that out in the open. That's for court. Right now, I have to call for Daniel McAfee and about his using the address without permission, and with the other address, post office, with what's his name, Williams, and then we call FBI for both of them. Let me get a point with the FBI for both of them, and then we're going to have to update our folder with immigration with Fernando over the counterfeiting stuff that went on. Where in San Diego is that? Now, you gentlemen feel that you want to retaliate by doing something stupid, go ahead. I'll collect that too and I use it against you in court. Or make any videos, open your mouth, say anything. Remember, not everybody that's in your channel is from your channel. Keep in mind on that. So when my people are watching you. And if you sit there and say, well, you know, he's got people online watching our channel. Well, we got people watching your channel today because you gentlemen done dirty, dumb stuff at the end of the day. Oh, by the way, Jamie, the counterfeiting stuff is going to be added to the blacklist today. So that page is going to be uploaded and sent over there. You got to get ready for that. Put that up over there. Because you shouldn't be counterfeiting. It's against the law. What's next? You're going to start counterfeiting guns? Don't do that. You'll definitely have them kicking your door through the wall. Let me see. We need the top to this, number one. Where's the cover for this? And I need... This one has to be recorded. There we go back. Oatmeal mentioned jealousy. Yeah, Oatmeal, I'm jealous that I won't be spending the rest of my life in jail and won't be getting sued beyond belief. Yeah, I'm definitely jealous about that. Another person would contact me lacking the intelligence of a common fruit fly. Why would I say that to you about you? And Oatmeal, we give him the nickname Oatmeal. Cold and unwanted. Anyway, so why would you give that nickname? Because you said some dumb things to me when you contact me by saying that. What did you say? You said there's nothing wrong that what he's doing, he's not breaking the law. Care to talk to a couple of people, friends of mine, at the end of the day? I mean, you can walk down to a police station, have a nice conversation with them, and you feel that there's nothing wrong with counterfeiting. How about that? What about a lawyer? You want to talk to a lawyer at the end of the day? See about that? Of course you don't. Ignorant. And at that, you're African American. Come on, man. I mean, they already labeled us as ignorant, but good gracious, man. You just add to it, man. This is what I mean by at the end of the day, you can't go anywhere with anything. Unbelievable. Oh, yeah, this is the address you used. All right, come on. Got to get a couple of these. Gentlemen, we are going to meet, so you know that. We're going to meet. Now, again, I don't get on camera and say anything that I can't back up. And, as I said before, If you feel, instead of crying and whining, as for the rest of you out there that cry and whine at the end of the day, all day long about our technology, you sign my contract and you see me in court. Stop going to YouTube channel, stop crying about it. If anyone else sees them on their YouTube channel crying and whining, tell them at the bottom, right, hey, sign the contract, see them in court. Just write it down there. And I bet you they probably ban you from their channel talking, don't cry about it, just sign. That's all you got to do. Or, like I said, I find enough of your videos, so you talk some trash about me, and you're saying some things about my company that's not true, and we'll figure out where you're at, and we'll send you some documents, and you will come to court, because you won't have a choice. So, pick one. Now, let's figure out what I'm going to be doing. Actually, tell you the truth, like more videos on this. Oh, let me see. Building the village. We got packages coming today. Oh yeah, we get to build a church today. We're gonna be building the church. We get to build the blacksmith. I gotta look up on that, on how we build a blacksmith. That shouldn't be hard to do. Look up for that. Let me get a I think McAfee's definitely gonna apologize. He'll come over and apologize to me. Sorry, McAfee. Like I said, I have no hatred for you guys. I really don't. But I have to do what I have to do. Business is business at the end of the day. Lawsuit is lawsuit. You got to do what has to be done. I've given you plenty of time. You didn't take it. Here we go. This is the one we're talking about. We have to contact for the when he used without permission their address. Ignoring it is not going to help you. Okay, yeah, that's for that one. So I'm going to make it pictures on. Yeah, you sent me this number right here, right? That's the number you sent me? That's the agency I called to file a report on you, which I'm about to call in a few minutes. Put another report on you again. Thank you for the number, by the way. I appreciate that. So what they did was they tried to send some message over here so that the landlord would get it, and he would read through it and think to kick me out of the building. That's what your plan was, right? Tell me if I'm wrong on that one. So you wrote this nice long letter here, so that way that my landlord can read this, and he can say, okay, we're just going to kick him out of the building. Now, my landlord's Christian at the end of the day. We're both Christians. And when I came here, the first thing I told him, I said, look, I got some haters at the end of the day. I got people that are mad and upset because I beat their products. And I did. I beat your products, right? Because you can take them to court on that. That's not true. You care to sign the contract, back it up? Nah, you can't. You just can't back it up. So they already know from there I had haters. But you guys make me look good. Because the energy you put into this showed at the end of the day how amazing my product is to hate it that hard. And meanwhile, I started collecting all your little pieces of evidence. I find it interesting that this is all meant to be, gentlemen. It's divine. It's meant to be. Because for McAfee, he sent out information, those weird letters to all the people, the places I went to. And every place we went to, not one person threw it away. Not one person. So we were able to collect each one of those from every individual. Not one person threw it away. You know why? Because it's meant, Mr. Williams, it's meant for the rest of you guys, for me to see your face in court. It's meant for me to have your day in judgment, my just day of judgment. It's meant to be. There's no way around this. So you can think at the end of the day, as you sit home with your family and look around and think that nothing's going to happen to me, and I'm here to tell you, it is. Let me call them up right now. Let me see. Oh, we got a full charge of the phone, so we're good. I'm going to start with the post office first. Let me see if this sorted out first. This is the address over in Philadelphia that he was used without permission. This is the address in Texas he was used without permission. It's Williams. Where's Daniel McAfee? I need his for Daniel McAfee. That's the bar to receive more information. We'll contact the bar today and let them know that we are in the process of filing with the post office. And the bar that he used, by the way, is in Flushington, Ohio. It's in his state. Actually, it's in a little town. You use the bar in your little town? I bet you're going there. No, I'm sorry, you can't go there. He's sorry, I hope you're married. You're doing things right. That's a bar is a gay bar. But anyway, let me see. That's the phone number we need to contact them on. Yeah, thank you guys for that number. I appreciate that. I wonder what branch we can reach out to on that one. That last one. What last one we have? We need that last one that has the restaurant sign from McAfee. But I have to start working on McAfee stuff right now. Yeah. Okay, let me see. Yeah, this is the place in Philly. I need to put in my control number. I'll get upgraded my control number. Okay, I'm cool. I got everything I need. Oh, by the way, we did file for sexual harassment against Mr. Williams because we were receiving a lot of postcards for gay cruises and stuff like that, including the emails about raping me. So we made a little package for that, just that stuff alone, and that also is being sent out too also. So yeah, also too I'll have the incident report for them, showing that we did file for sexual harassment lawsuits. Oh, sorry, sexual harassment complaint. Gentlemen, I'm telling you, I couldn't ask for anything more. You have given me more information than I could possibly ever dream on getting you taken care of. Instead of following this guy, you chose to follow the devil. You gave me, I got so much information on this. It's unbelievable how much evidence we got on them. It is unbelievable. I'm going to the courthouse today. I'm feeling right now, I'm feeling extra giddy. I'm going to go to the courthouse. I got to file a lawsuit against somebody. Who we bringing here? Fernando, we got to bring you here. You're coming to Pennsylvania. You got to come to Pennsylvania. I'm bringing you to Pennsylvania. I'm going to go up to the courthouse today, and I'm going to go in, and I'm going to see what room we got to go in to file everything to get everything started. I got your information, address, all your stuff. I'm bringing you here, and I got to talk to the DA because I got to explain to him about my situation, bringing my medical papers and all that stuff, so they can begin the process of basically bringing you here. You're the first one we're coming for. Anyway, because you started all this. So let me get that started. I'm going over to that building. I showed you where that building is at. It's right up the street from you. Right up the street. I'm going to right up the street and go take care of that right now. See what I got to do. Get all this done. Get everything documented. I'll show you my documents on the camera showing that he's going to court. You're coming to Pennsylvania, buddy. Now, keep in mind, if you don't have that ID to go to the airport, you're going to raise a lot of crazy flags. So you're going to have to show up. You can't come here by car. It takes too long. You can't come here by bus. You have to fly. You have to fly out over here. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to make an appointment, get my medical records, and bring my medical records down because they're going to request my medical records, all that stuff to make sure that I'm legit, which I should have no problem passing that. And I'm going to talk to the district attorney's office over in, because they're the ones that deal with all that stuff in Allentown. That's what we need. Let me see. Actually, I guess somebody reach out to me and talk to me about that one. So we can bring you here. Now, mind you, if you're not going to make it here either way. He's not going to make it here. He's not going to make it here. And the reason why, because again, 2 forms of ID to get over here. Unless you get somebody to get the tickets for you, and you go with them, it means you have to bring them there. They're going back up by themselves. Fernando, the minute you step foot in Pennsylvania, I'm going to have you arrested, so you know that. Because I have charges of you in Pennsylvania right now. So the minute you step foot here, I'm going to have you arrested at the airport. The minute you come down there, the minute you touch down here in Pennsylvania, I'm going to have you arrested. So I think that's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to go up there and file. So I got enough stuff here. I got stuff over at the FBI. We got stuff over at the police, at the police station we filed against you. I got stuff with the post office. I got all kinds of stuff on you. We need to go down and get this filed. My thing at the end of the day is because I didn't want to basically spend my money to travel all the way down there, da-da-da-da-da. Then my buddy was saying, you can't get on an airplane. I said, why? Because you have lung disease. They won't even permit you on there. That's a liable lawsuit. They won't let you on there. And I looked it up, and they said, no, can't fly. They won't let me fly. So with that being said, which is a bummer, and a lot of places I wanted to go as trips and all, but, whatever. But anyway, yeah, because of that. So I can't fly because of medical conditions. So that means that they would have to bring you here. So get your airline tickets ready because you have to come here. But if you can't have that, that information to get the airline tickets, something's going to come up. And you're going to have to show up here. Because I'm not filing a lawsuit against you. I'm filing criminal charges against you. Which means if you don't show up, there's a warrant going to be issued for your arrest. That's what's going to happen. Not a lawsuit. Criminal charges. That's what I'm filing against you. Because I got stuff where you threatened my life, you threatened my family, you were stalking us, all this stuff. Yeah, I'm going to basically file criminal charges with the courts today against you so that way we can get you here. And you can't come here because you already know why. It's not you that left the state a long time ago. So technically what we're doing is we're triggering the effect. That's what we're doing. Because I know you can't come here. I know that from the door. I know you can't come here. But I'm trigger the effect. Get it started. Okay. That's running through. Trigger the effect. It's like forcing someone down the hill when there's a barbed wire there waiting for your throat. Now you can turn. Can't in this situation. Alright. So make sure we got everything here. So that's contact them. This is the address for Derek Franklin Williams. That's the address he was contacting them and harassing them. This is another one there from him. Alright, and this is new pictures you can send over using the post or using their address. And I just need McAfee's information. And that's it. That's all I need. That's why this is where education comes in greatly, about knowing things at the end of the day. Jamie, about our copyrights, said some dumb nonsense on saying at the end of the day that, oh, this old thing? No, Jamie, that cube basically is a copyright on it. See right here? That's your website we used to have that you don't have anymore. But those are shows proof that you were using our copyrights without permission. These are transcripts, and we have tons of those. Basically, that's what I sent over to the CCV about you basically using my copyrights without permission. But a copyright will last for 75 years, and an additional 75 years after the person dies. So if we don't use it at all, period, doesn't mean it's not effective. It's still effective. Copyright is so legit. So I'm going to go down to the police station. I got to go to records. I got to go pick up your charges we have against you, which are possibly 31 in there. I'm going to walk over to the courthouse, and I'm going to pay and file criminal charges against you. So we can start to set up a date for you to come to court. And you will get a notice in the mail from Allentown, from the court district over here, stating that your charges that were filed against you here in Pennsylvania. And you will have to make do to figure out how to come here. Now, again, as I said before, I have to go to the DA, talk to them, explain to them, the court, so and so and so, and I have to show medical proof that I had this disease and I can't fly and so forth. Once that's official, which it should be no problem whatsoever, you're coming here. Do I expect to see him here? No, he can't come here. And I told you why he can't come here. Because he doesn't have documentation. He can't go to the airport. He can't even buy a ticket. And this is a criminal trial that's coming up for you. So the criminal trial, if you don't show up and you're a no-show, they're going to get a bench warrant, which means they're going to contact a unit in California, your Baldwin Police Department, and they're going to come by and they're going to get a warrant. They're going to arrest you. Now, once they arrest you and they do a background check on you, they're going to find out you're undocumented. They got to contact Immigration and ICE. So that's how we're going to do it. It's going to be clean and over. So go down here to the hospital where I'm at and request my medical records. That's all I had to do. Request my medical records. I think I can go back as way back. I need 4 months of medical records, which probably is overkill, but I've been seen by all top doctors, so not a problem getting all that. So yeah, not a problem at all. Daniel McAfee opens up this page every once in a while. He opens this page, it comes up on my feed, your face and all of it. So kind of thing. I think you do that from time to time. So basically, I can see your family and basically give you an opportunity out of the mess you got yourself into. Because that's what basically, initially, when we started, we talked to him. Actually, I sent out on YouTube for him that we were going to give him an opportunity to get out of the mess because he does have some small kids at home he does take care of. And all you have to do is just walk away from it. We're willing to wipe all that clean, touching and making fake copies of my receipts and all that stuff you were doing. We're willing to walk away from it. I got the YouTube videos right there. We're going to show the judge. And man, you couldn't stay away, could you? So once in a while, his page pops up and comes up on my feed automatically. And I think he thinks if I see that, I'm going to change my mind. No, McAfee, I'm not changing my mind. I said what I said at the door. When the first time I saw them, beautiful kids, by the way. He's a good father, I give you that. Not a smart one, but a good father. So when I first saw it, I was like, you know what, we can't do this. We can't. We'll have them, we'll sue them some way, we'll have to pay us some money, whatever, we'll do it that way. That way everything stays intact. And I came on YouTube and I said, look, man, just disappear. Go somewhere. That's all you got to do. And you didn't, because I went to my sister's house. I know your handwriting at the end of the day. You sent her a letter. That's what you did. And I said, well, that's it. So once in a while, we see this page pop up. It's not going to help you, man. It's not. My decision is my decision. I already made it. It's set in stone already. I gave an ultimatum. We'll walk away from this if you disappear. And you didn't. And what did I tell you what would happen if you didn't walk away? We're coming after you. And now we're coming after you. Once I make this phone call, it begins. Let's go to the police station. Charge against this joker in the day. Get that done. Someone gives you the opportunity, take the opportunity. Take the freaking opportunity. Take the opportunity. It's what you do. I came out of lockup. I didn't sit there and go, gee, let me figure out ways to get more trouble. No, I got the freak out of my freaking neighborhood and got my life together. That's what I did. No more wasting games, no doing any dumb nonsense. It gets real. I'm done. I'm out. Come up to my place. Hey, you want to go hang out? I ain't hanging out with none of y'all. No disrespect and none of y'all. I'm cutting all y'all off. That's what I said when I came out. Cutting all y'all off. I'm done. I'm tired of this mess. I'm done. I'm going to get my life together. I'm done with it. Bye. You give you that opportunity, you don't even take it. You are a freaking idiot. You have no idea what's coming your way. And you're going to watch your kids cross the altar and see your kids get married and have a grandfather, and you're going to miss all that because you chose to do something dumb in life. Let me see. Also, too, on your YouTube channel, I have pictures of you using my face without my permission, so I will be suing you for that, too, also. Here we go, Daniel McAfee. I was looking for that. And by the way, that's the address of the bar he used without permission. That's somebody else's address he used when you were stalking me at the garage. So, you see this number right here, gentlemen? This is the number you sent to me to contact the post office. This involves federal post office. And the stuff that you did here is against the law, which you can't do. Use the United States Post Office to commit a crime, right? All right, then. And with that being said, well, I'm going to go call them, contact them, and we're going to have a nice long talk. Keep sending out more information on you. Use somebody's address without permission right there. Sent it to my office. Before I leave, Williams, there's 2 packages going to your social worker and some other people. One of them basically shows where you were basically stalking us. Not only were you stalking us, but you were basically sexual harassment, where you were sending me out different forms of postcards for gay carnival cruises. I think there's something wrong with that, man. I told you, he's a weird dude. Gay carnival cruises and stuff like that. And then you were sending me emails about raping me. So those went out to your social worker, and some of the people in your building got that information. These are people that managers and so forth that basically need to know your activity. So that means you have to register as a sex offender. That's what you have to register as. But that's if you get out of jail, which you're going to make sure you stay in there. And if it does show that you do have some kind of, and even the officer who saw the picture clearly says that it looks like he has some kind of mental illness, well, you'll get 302 and you'll spend the rest of your life in a psychiatric, put it this way, psychiatric for the rest of your life. Because they're never going to let him out. There is something clearly wrong with this man. And this is a man claiming to be a preacher, a minister. Look at that. Disgusting. Lose some weight, for goodness sakes. My goodness. You're on the verge of a heart attack with that one. It's not, you see, like an egg man. Don't get mad about it. Rick sends pictures of himself. I say he's not mentally stable. Something wrong with him. Ugh. Refresh you right there. That's his Facebook page he removed because he had information he didn't want anybody to find out about. This is where he's asking money from people. I'm gonna make a page for you, man. I'm gonna make a page on Facebook for you. It's gonna post that picture, all this stuff on it right here, outing you as a fake preacher. I'm gonna make a page. Like we did for Fan, I'm gonna make one for you. Feel free to get an officer or whatever you want to try to pull it down. You can't, because that's actual evidence. We're gonna post that to Facebook. We're gonna make a page for you. We're out you as a fake minister, and that's what you are. I'm gonna post your emails too. Or you talk about raping me and all that stuff. All that's going to be posted. I'm going to put that there because I need to have that page so I can redirect it to other agencies. So I'm making that one today. Put your YouTube channel and your information up there. Now we can't put his address up there because again his address basically is his address at the end of the day. We can't put that up there. It's not a business address. Jamie has a business address. But I'm going to put your email and all that stuff up there. That I will do. And we'll put up there right here where you're taking money from people. Your YouTube channel, all links to it. Man, this is not going to go well for you. And how you were sending these pictures that landed on my sister's property, and their address is on one of them too. We'll show them. Where basically you sent it to a place where there's kids at. I'm going to put you on Facebook. Put you on blast. And then we'll show the box of mail you were stalking me. We're going to put all that on there. But we will know you. Tell them you're from Baltimore. So I'm going to build a page for you today. All right, with that being said, oh shoot, what am I doing? I need all this information. What are you doing? You got any phone calls to go with this stuff? Am I putting this away? No, we need this. There's all this stuff in here. We need all of this. I got a phone call to make today. Oh, it's right over there. Okay, cool. You left everything over there. You make your page. You want publicity, right? Hey, you're lucky, man. My buddy at the end of the day was going to put a billboard with your face on it just like that right in front of your building. Let me see. They have a page on Facebook for sexual harassment, so like that. I'm going to stick you on there, too, on top of that. Hey, you were sending me all this weird stuff at the end of the day. You don't want anybody. See, the thing about Mr. Williams today, Mr. Williams don't want anybody to know his activity. He does stuff like this secretly to send it to people. Oh, no, I'm going to put your stuff on blast. Your stuff is going on blast. Your stuff is going on Facebook. I'm going to blast. And your full name will be up there. Derek Franklin Williams III. I want to give you credit for your work. We have all this. We have all this on our phone, right? All right, we'll transfer to the phone over there. So I'm going to set you up, put it up there. You can go ahead and call the police, whatever you got to do at the end of the day. You're already in the police system already. And also, too, your instant report, all that stuff will be up there. And explain the story, the problem we have with you, and you contacted our office, emails, all that stuff, of you stating that you were a minister, and you were from the church, and you had your community, and all that stuff like that, and you claimed that your job was to usher and help people find God, and then you're showing pictures of yourself half naked and sending emails to us about raping us. So I think people should know about this. So I'm going to put you, make your eBay page, Facebook page, and we're going to put all your stuff up there, all your information up there. Then that way, anytime I got to talk to anybody in your building, I can redirect that page. But we will know that you're at City View Apartments. We will post that. You're at City View Apartments. That's where you put the address, right? It's not showing your exact number, but people need to know exactly where you're at. And of course, the people of Baltimore will basically see that page also. All right, good luck with all that. See, that's the thing about it. When you got somebody who's a child pedophile in your neighborhood, or someone is doing something creepy at the end of the day, creepy stuff, people post those people. And they post those people because people need to know exactly what these people are about. Like that one guy who basically goes in and he makes these arrangements to meet up with these guys. And they use like these undercover agents. It's a new form of a catch a predator. And they have, this guy meets him, real big guy meets him out there, and he puts him on blast, man. He yells out like, yeah, this guy right here, we got his email transcripts, he's trying to talk to a 13-year-old boy and all that stuff. They put them on blast. Good. Because that's the problem with them. The problem that they do a lot of dirty stuff in secret, figuring that no one's going to know what they do. It needs to be put on blast. So, when you're on blast, you call yourself a minister. That's what you call yourself, a minister, a priest, all this stuff. That your job is basically at the end of the day to be able to help people find Christ and to be more like Jesus. That's what you said, right? That ain't exactly being more like Jesus. And then using someone's address without permission. So, we're going to basically put it out there. And all your Facebook information, all is going out there. So since you want to basically hide in secret and do weird stuff, and I wouldn't even want that joker living next to me. I wouldn't want my kids to come near you at the end of the day. It's usually the people who have jobs where they have to be around kids all the time, freaking preachers. Not saying all of them, but I'm saying that's what they use. That's what they use. That's persona they'll use. Teachers, coaches, stuff like that, where they can basically get that trust of the parent and also get that trust with the kids. That's some creepy stuff right there. Can you imagine if this guy actually had a church and all churches had kids in them and he's walking around doing this nonsense? Would you have your kids go to that church? If this guy was your freaking softball coach, would you have your kids basically go? No, you wouldn't. That is some creepy stuff, man. I wouldn't even want to see you as an ice cream truck. That is creepy. I got to get your police report too, so we can post that too. All right, I got to get out of here. Got to go. And as I said before, you crybabies out there sitting there crying right now, you stop crying about it. Sign the contract. Meet me in court. That's how you do it. Da 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 da. And Mr. Williams, you're going to get a new Facebook page, which I'm going to post. Now, if you feel the need that you want to make one about me at the end of the day, oh, well, you're going to jail anyway. It makes no difference what you do at the end of the day. You still have to back it up in court. That's just another thing I'll get you in court for. But I can back up everything I put on your page. That is you, right? Those are your emails, right? These are your creepy letters, right? All right, then. There you go. With that being said, there you go. Mr. Yeah. Get that letter. Boom, 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 boom. Do we got something coming in? We got packages coming today. Oh, we do. Got a piece, but I'm from home. Let me wrap my stuff up here. Oh, look at the beautiful fish. It's so beautiful. I love my giant screen. Yeah, I think about buying a laser projector. I want to get one laser projector. Ooh, there's one right here. On the beach, Monty. Hi there, Mercy. What do you think, Taco? Yeah, tell me about it. Alright, let me see. And then on the cover for this. Hair on me, darn over here. Now you look at the screen, you got a TV right there. You literally have a TV right there. Oh, my update must have went up. Like I see it on my phone, triggered off. My update must be 59. I think that's what I'm doing. Hey. Alright. Time to get working. We got to do demonstration, pre-record on the video technology, big screen, couple demonstrations on that, take pictures of that, add all that to the website. Website video update. Get ready to set the marketplace for the Continental technology we're working on this week. Order another PC, start stripping that thing apart. And what time do we have here? Don't we have that lunch? Oh man, it's lunch. Alright, lunchtime. Oh, we can still be the reaching agencies at lunch. Somebody got to pick up. Alright, I got to go. I got to make phone calls. See you later.